Chris Demm was telling us that a friend of his found out, just by entering his name, that he may have unclaimed cash somewhere. You see that on the local news sometimes. And a friend of ours who works in local news says, it's real. It's not a scam.
Yeah, TV Bob Buckley says has done the story many times, and he said the amounts sitting in state coffers, he said, in the billions.
Huge. But, see, I'm afraid that scam artists will know that and try to infiltrate you.
Of course.
You know, because Chris Demm said he had to put in his Social Security number.
I did. Birth date, social.
Megan's on the phone. She knows something about this. Megan, go ahead.
I've been with Dale Falwell, who's our state treasurer, a couple of over the last month or so. Just happened to be with him at two different events, and he's always handing out those cards. You know, claim your money, claim your money. And he was recently telling me about a woman who just received $200,000. She didn't know that she was the recipient of her ex-boyfriend's life insurance policy. Whoa. And she was contacted and received that. He said there are millions of dollars to be claimed. And even if you've already claimed yours, you should check back time and again because there's more money coming in. I mean, you know, tens of thousands of dollars come in all the time, just all this money. And I did it, and I did not have, it was from when I lived in Boone 25 years ago, and I didn't have any proof of my residency. And they worked with me, and I ended up getting, I don't know, over $100. It was worth the time.
Wow.
All right.
Cool. That is awesome. I'm really glad you called to tell us that. Thank you. Do you think a lot of people think... Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I believe he would want me to be making this call because he's always handing out those cards, and he said, this money's just sitting there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. He said, there's one woman that I know. He said, I know her very well, but he, of course, didn't share her name. That has $20,000 that's waiting for her, and she thinks it's a scam, and she won't do it.
I think a lot of people think that way.
Of course.
Yeah,
we're conditioned.
That makes sense. Thank you so much, Megan. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, go get your money.
And that's for Chris Demm and Biggie. Go get your money if you think you're owed it.
Enter your address?
I did. You can go to I guess it's different for every state. But in this state, you can go in there and just put in your name and the city and your zip code.
But see, I'm screwed. I want my money.
Well, she said that she had somebody work with her that got the old address back and proved it somehow.
But see, I wasn't.
He was doing it under the table.
Yeah, I wasn't ever on the.
Oh, I see.
You see, there's nothing that proves I live there.
Well, and see, that's how I was when I did get scammed recently in a landscaping scam.
Well, that was face-to-face.
It was a face-to-face scam, and I have no proof that I even paid $4,500 for a load of pine straw.
Have you received your canceled check back in the mail? And, sometimes it takes a month for your bank statement to arrive. Do they still do that, or do they just send you a photograph of the canceled check?
There is no... Well, I don't know. I mean, there's no canceled check.
But you wrote a check.
I wrote a check, but they took it to the bank and it was denied because I canceled the check. So there's no photo.
But they would hold on to it, or do they give it back to Jay Quantavius?
I think Jay Quantavius still has it because I was told.
They don't confiscate that? I never even thought about it.
I don't think so because I was actually told by the bank after 6 months it becomes uncanceled and they could get it. So watch carefully or change your account, which we did. Yeah, so you can
uncancel.
They uncancel it after 6 months, probably so they can charge you again if you cancel it, because the bank charges something on that too. The point is, every time I see one of these scams, and this is not a scam, but I see it on the local news all the time now. Don't get scammed, don't get scammed. And at the end, the reporter says, "Wake your meemaw."
Yeah.
Wake your people.
Please talk to the oldest people you know.
Talk to the elderly. Talk to the infirm. Talk to those who are
the shut-ins.
The shut-ins. Those that are slow mentally.
They're the most vulnerable.
The ones that have no mental capacity.
The mush-headed.
They're the ones.
addle-pated.
I didn't mean to overstep my bounds.
Those that urinate upon themselves, those are the ones that need...
The blithering idiots.
Send them these stories. Those that are babbling incoherently, send them these stories is
they
what they
must
say.
know.
They're the ones, exactly.
There's some names associated with your name in here, Kelly.
There's some names associated with me.
Yeah.
Which name?
With money.
What? With money?
Yeah.
That
Monies?
I could have unclaimed money.
Yeah.
Which name did you put? The good one?
Brickman.
Yeah.
There's several of them, and but they have different addresses. But you've had a lot of addresses.
I have.
So
there's money to be claimed.
Better go look.
Oh Lord. Now,
what did the previous caller just say?
You know what she said?
I'll never forget what she said at the end of that phone call.
I know Biggie. This will stick with Biggie for sure.
Yeah. Well, go get your money.
That's it. Go get your money is what she said. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my money. I'm gonna but I'll be the one that gets scammed. And they'll do a story out and they'll say, the mush-headed, the muddled, the old, the infirm, the elderly.
The dimwit.
I got a great Dame Judi Dench story about urinating on yourself.
Say it now. Don't make me wait.
No, save it for her obituary day.
Well, that may never come.
If we're here.
That may not be on by then.
Actually, I prefer you put it in an envelope like we do.
You want to put it in an envelope
just say,
and see if we
Dame Judi Dench urine
Open upon my desk.
Yeah.
if it was worthy. See if it was worthy of an envelope.
Yeah.
Like this unclaimed money. Is it worthy?
Okay. Put it in an envelope, but I'll give you the article after the show
I'll
today.
provide the envelope.
When Dame Judi Dench dies, I'm going
Whoever's left in this room. She may outlive us.
I'm going to give you
What's she clocked at right now?
She's up in her mid-80s now, isn't she?
I would
Probably
think.
85, 85. She's a tremendous actress. She's won tons of awards.
Well, she's a dame, for God's sake.
She is. Well, so was Angela Lansbury. She was.
Was she a
Yeah,
dame?
she was.
She was damed?
She was. She was called a
She was
dame.
born in England?
Yeah, 1925.
Pretty sure.
1925. And Dame Judi Dench is 87.
Oh, my.
Should be 88, in fact, in December.
Let's see who lasts longer.
I'm going to put the article in an envelope at the end of the show, and I want you to write on there in bold letters, open upon the death of Dame Judi Dench.
Okay.
All right? But it's about urine.
Yep.
And peeing on yourself.
Okay.
All right, which a lot of people think I do because of that.
It's only sweat.
The land.
Judi Dench may do it to herself.
The landscaping scam that got me. People think, oh, you've urinated on yourself.
Yes.
You're shut in.
That was a metaphor.
It was. Yes, exactly.
This isn't quite the same. But did you? And this is just a little aside, and I should have screen capped it. But there was a play. I was watching one of the NFL games Sunday. It might have been the Giants game, and the Giants, I guess, were playing the Packers in England.
Yes, as London game.
And the quarterback for the Giants was scrambling, and he had to run the ball. And instead of sliding, he was tackled, kind of head first. He went down hard, and he was grabbing his hand when he came up. And then I didn't realize this, but the camera zoomed in, and he had a really bad
bleeding
injury on his right hand, his passing hand. Well, a few plays later, there's it was after the whistle had blown. The Giants are regrouping, getting back to go to their huddle. The offense is still on the field.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize at the time is that Daniel Jones is the quarterback with the blood pouring out of the back of his right hand.
Yeah.
The flip side of your palm.
Like he'd been stabbed. I saw, yeah.
Well, that's where he puts his hands under the center's ass.
So.
And I saw this giant bloody patch right on the center's BH.
That's right.
And I thought, I know. It's the quarterback's blood.
It's not my blood.
He's not pooing blood.
That's right. It's not my blood. That leads me to two other memories. One time I watched Hard Knocks when the quarterback for the Bengals, what was his name? He's out of
Carson Palmer.
This is a real touchstone moment for Hard Knocks, which is inside training camp of NFL teams. They're Bengals, and he put his hand under the center, crotch, numerous times, and he was smelling the back of his hand, and he was telling other people, "Smell that? That's ass. That's the center's ass.
Wash yourself."
Yeah, he's like, you got to wash your ass, man. He kept saying that to the centers. The center's like, "Sorry, Carson." He's like, "I don't care, man. This is hard. This is where our hand goes. This is terrible. We can't have
It's
that."
a very strange relationship, as a quarterback.
You got to put your hands right
You
there.
have to put them right there.
And right there.
The first time you do it, it's like, am I? You are.
Yeah. And
Is it
And then it just
required?
I've seen it.
Do you have to touch?
Yeah.
Well,
think
you
so.
do for the direct snap. Obviously, most people do the shotgun now.
Yeah, it used to be more direct snap.
If you could just hover.
When I played
hover.
When I played Pee Wee football, I remember the quarterback, Dean Bailey, the very first snap, he's like, "I'm putting my hands there," and the center was like, "Yeah, I guess so," and you put it right there.
Yeah.
But and the center kept apologizing to Carson Palmer. "I'm really sorry. I bathed." And Carson's
Head
like,
Mexican, sorry.
I sweat, Carson. I sweat.
Speaking of BHs, Dave wasn't here when we announced this originally. I got 2 jars of Dolly Parton creamy frosting today. A P1 listener sent it.
I'd have to put that Barbie-looking character on it.
That is Dolly.
That's Dolly.
I thought it was really nice.
I know, but...
So I got to the radio station, and on my desk was a a cardboard box, and I shook it, and I knew there was something of heft in there. And I said to Chris Demm, I was like, this is going to be something for my PRI.
It's an ointment.
So many people send ointments and salves. And I just said, I don't care what's coming out of this box. I'm smearing it on my BH. It's Dolly Parton frosting. And I've tried the buttercream, and it's delightful.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, tried it where?
I haven't tasted it. Okay. Let's just say that.
We don't think chocolate would look good on a man's shorts.
No.
Or and
lead
your
to talk.
jeans.
You can't have that. But we have the story left over from the Demm report. There's a couple of finger stories today, and one of them is from nearby, this criminal who lost a finger.
Yeah, by far the most emailed story of the week. North Carolina man is in jail because he left a fingerprint behind at the scene of his crime.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a fingerprint, the entire finger.
Mm-hmm.
Burlington police say 67-year-old Vernon Wilson tried to break into a home on the morning of October the 6th. It appears that the homeowner had started his car, but then went back inside. And that's when the two met. That's when Vernon made his move. He tried to force his way into the home, but the victim slammed the door shut. Vernon was armed and fired at least one shot during the scuffle. Yeah. And a bullet grazed the chest of the homeowner. Our own Weather Dave has had a bullet graze him.
He has.
Had a grazing.
His arms. By the way, people online started winding Dave up about, dude, bruh. Arm day? Do you skip arm day? Your arms are like noodles. Man had been shot. I stood up for him. I stood up for him only second to Matt Rule.
You laugh loudest.
I stood up for Dave. I stood up for Matt Rule.
But he never skips leg day.
His legs are phenomenal.
Time for
My
arms.
favorite part of Dave's story is that we couldn't figure out, because they kept saying 3 people had been shot, and we were like, well, who was the third?
Who's the third? Oh, it's Dave.
Oh, it's Dave.
Oh, he was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Right under our nose.
Well, they count that as a shooting?
So, this guy's grazed.
Yeah, so the homeowner is grazed, and like I said, he'd slammed the door in Vernon's face, and by the time police arrived, Vernon was gone, but he'd left some key evidence behind. One of his gloves. Only the glove wasn't empty. A finger was still inside one of the gloves.
Ouch.
Well, now he lost the finger. How the guy
slamming
slammed the
door
door on him. That seemed, to me, that's like the most painful thing. I'm just, when you read it, I'm just like, oh my God, that's so painful.
That may be one of those things where, because I think we've all seen it, or if it's happened to you, you close it in a car door.
Oh God,
that's the worst.
It's almost like you go into shock.
It's terrible.
It hurts and hurts and hurts, and
so
then your
bad.
body just shuts down.
Yeah, it hurts so
That's a
bad.
So
Rush.
detectives eventually found the 9-fingered suspect and charged him with first-degree burglary. Our good dear friend Bobby Ninefingers was one of the many P1s who sent this, and he said it wasn't me.
Yeah, you've got to.
Bobby Ninefingers has the best, to me, I haven't seen that many people missing fingers, but Bobby Ninefingers, great P1 of this show, has had it done so beautifully. You can't even tell he's got 9 fingers. I mean, he holds up his hands. It's like you got to really look and see.
Yeah.
You know, it's really
It's not
well
obvious
done.
at all.
Not a bit. They took out like it's either his ring or his middle finger on one hand, and you can't even really tell. I mean, at all.
That's good work.
It was very nicely done. This guy, do you think he thought for a moment, I got to go get that glove, my fingers in? Because they fingerprinted him. They got him. That's how they found him, you know? Do you think when they got there and he was bleeding from a stumpy finger that he said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did they OJ style put the glove on the hand?
Don't fit.
If the finger fits.
That's what
He's
I was
only got
thinking.
4.
This is about fingers also. A 56-year-old man, unarmed bank robber in Florida. He's a zero in the Heroes and Zeros segment. His name is Paul Sinclair. Facing bank robbery charges, he walked into a Chase Bank in Largo 1:30 in the afternoon on Monday, went up to a teller, held his hand under his shirt so that it looked like a gun, but it was a finger gun.
Yeah.
And the teller said, you don't have a gun, I can tell. It was just a finger gun.
Pull a fast one.
And the guy said, yes, I do. I do have a gun. And he said, and you're supposed to give me this money. She gave him $120. He ran out. She called the cops and said, he ain't got no gun. And he didn't. And they got him within 10 minutes. They
Oh,
called
wow.
him.
Good.
It was like
Oftentimes when the tellers rebuff the robbers,
they'll leave.
they get nothing.
That's right. They run
I'm surprised that he got 120.
She had already pushed the silent alarm. And she goes, I know you don't have a gun, but I'm going to give you what's in my drawer. She was really, tough with him.
Yeah.
She gave him $120, but they got him.
Did she die pack it?
No, didn't need to. It was just 120. It was 6 $20 bills.
It was under the amount that they have to
That
report.
was all it. But she'd already pushed the silent alarm. It reminded me of that Woody Allen movie, Take the Money and Run, where he had a bad note. He wrote, I have a gun.
I'm pointing a gun at you.
That looks like gun. That doesn't look like gun.
No, it's gun.
No, that's gub. That's a B.
No, see, that's an N. It's G-U-N. It's gun.
George, would you step over here a moment, please?
This is the bank manager.
Does this look like gub or gun?
Gun, see?
Oh, I see. This is a holdup.
Yes.
Well, you'll have to have this note initialed by one of our vice presidents before I can give you any money.
Now that's the way to handle that.
The early
situation.
funny ones.
That looks like gub to me, not gun.
Oh, this is a holdup. Yes.
Heroes in the Hero and Zero segment here. We've got a mayor who is being called a hero today. He saved a mother and 3 children. They were in a car stalled on train tracks in Vienna, Georgia. His name is Eddie Daniels, and he pulled the mother and 3 children out of their car. And everybody's saying, you're a hero. You saved their lives.
I couldn't let those babies sit there and get slaughtered by a train. I seen a lady in trouble, and I knew I had to do what I needed to do. At that time, I seen the train, and the 6-year-old, I was pulling her out. And that's when the train hit. They told me I was a hero. I said, I don't feel like a hero. I just feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, what the people elected me to do. Terrible scene, but we was able to save some lives.
He's got my vote. You know,
For sure.
Mayor of Vienna, Georgia.
They almost got ground into Vienna sausage.
Close. He got him out. That's heroic. I would do that.
3 people.
I would do that.
Eat
I would
Vienna
do that.
sausage?
I would. Yes.
How long did it take him to get him out?
Took him just about 30 seconds to get. But
Are
some
they all
are,
baby-seated in?
2 were babysitted.
I would, yeah.
And
I don't
the
know how to get somebody
6-year-olds
out of a
unreal.
babysit.
grabbed them out. I've had experience with that with dogs and children. Our dog.
Oh,
is,
that's right. Your dog has a harness now.
Our dog is in a harness now.
Has it arrived?
Yes.
Have you installed? Or you have
yes.
to take it to the fire department?
We
To make sure it's installed properly.
Can you help me put my dog harness in correctly?
That'd be that would be so funny. That's a TikTok right there.
we had it done. We had it installed properly. And
Does the dog suspended like in the air, like in a gyroscope?
Yes. Yes.
Just sort of hangs
Like an
midair?
acrobat dog.
Yes, and you can't even see the wiring.
Like Cirque du Soleil?
It's great.
Spins and flips.
She just flips her legs. She, it's wonderful.
Like it's weightless.
It's wonderful. She's weightless. Yes, like she's in the comet, the vomit comet. It's like she's in space. And she took her first ride yesterday. She loved it.
Oh, really?
Absolutely
Really?
loved it. Yeah. Yeah, she was, just looking around. Now she can't get to where she used to could go, so she whined a little bit.
It's in the back,
Yeah.
right?
It's in the back.
Yeah.
But you've got to keep her safe always.
Does each family vehicle need one of these dog harnesses now?
Well, it
Will
can.
daddies get one?
Yeah, we're going to have to order another for me, but she rarely rides with me. She usually rides with just the wife, so I don't really. My whole idea was let's not take her on rides. My wife said, no, we need to protect
How does she
her.
handle it during the day when she's teaching?
Under her arm.
She's got a purse, bitch.
Like the Queen's Corgis?
Yeah, like the Queen's Court. We don't. She doesn't go anywhere without that animal. That animal goes where she goes. Oh, my poor wife is struggling so much right now. She's got a cold, so she's unable to tape her mouth shut at night. Otherwise, she'd smother.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, back up.
Saw it last night with her.
Explain.
She tapes her mouth shut, as you know.
For what purpose?
Well, she developed a little bit of a snore, okay, and I alerted her to this, and I said, "You're sawing logs."
So she Googled how to stop snoring.
And this was a TikTok.
somewhere at the very bottom of the internet. All right, tape your mouth shut.
Pretty much.
Now, doctors say not to do it, but TikTokers say, "Oh yeah, do it. Do it." I mean, it helps.
TikTokers also said put NyQuil in chicken.
That's fact. That's fact. They fried chicken and NyQuil. They make baking soda, vinegar, Coca-Cola. They do all that stuff, which of course is not good for. And doctors said, don't do this. But she's been doing it for about, I'd say 6 months now. And she says it has stopped her snoring. And it's been a remarkable success, she says. But now she's got a cold. So last night she taped her mouth
Because her
shut.
nose stuffed
up. So last night she taped her mouth up. And within 30 minutes, she can't breathe. She can't breathe. I had to shake her awake. I said, not today, So I ripped that tape off her mouth.
Don't let the bastard win.
And she said that it's been absolutely terrible, but she's not able to. So we're on night number 2 tonight of her not taping her mouth shut.
I don't need you to tell tales after school. You don't have to answer this, but does the snoring awake you?
Never has, no. But she, I sleep through just about anything.
Well, who alerted her?
Well, I did because I get up in the middle of the night.
I see.
And so I
yes.
just look over at her and be like,
Yes.
"Jeez,
Damn.
Sucking the plaster off the ceiling.
It's not the dog.
And she said, eventually, she's like, am I snoring? Because she could kind of feel, how you
Yeah,
sort
you
of-
wake up.
Yeah, and I said, and I just said, my love, you are starting to snore some as we age. And she said, I'm going to have to do something about this. I don't want to snore. And that's when she turned to, as you said, the bottom of the internet, the darkest of the dark web.
Has she ever just in passing tried on your CPAP just to see what it's like?
I offered that to her, and she
won't
said,
even try it on?
said no.
Give it a test drive.
Yeah.
Take her out for a spin.
Take her around the block. See how she does.
Kick the tires. See what you see.
She may love it.
I told her.
Don't you think the people that buy CPAPs most are men? Probably 80%,
Yeah,
maybe
I do.
more.
Without
I
a
do.
doubt.
I do.
Without a doubt.
I bet it's 90.
Women don't want to. They don't want electronics. They don't
That's
want to be
right.
hooked up to them at night.
Well,
I
I
see
think
more
so.
of those commercials where that guy's wrestling with his mask all night, and then he gets that little implant.
Yeah.
Where
I
he
know.
keeps the thing on the nightstand. And I wonder if that's the preferable way to do it.
We had a caller say, and you weren't here. It was a year and a half ago. And I replay it in my head over and over. I like, what would Chris Demm say? What would Chris Demm have said? But he said it does work. It's a good product where you put it right under your collarbone.
It's like near your collarbone.
And it triggers something to stop you from snoring.
And you just have to hit your little button on the nightstand
turn it on to activate
when you go to sleep,
That's
and
right.
and then you sleep through the night without a mask.
Correct. But he said about every 8 to 10 years you have to have it replaced because of battery life and so forth.
Oh.
What if you keep it on all day
Wouldn't that be nice?
while you're awake? You forget to hit the button. You can't go back home to turn it off.
You see Johnson in that meeting up there? Wait,
He's alive. He's a firecracker.